Epidemic Sound or Artlist, depending on your creative style and how you're planning on using the music, one of these will be the better option for you. And as of today, summer or at least June of 2022, the pricing of these is very similar from the personal up to the commercial or unlimited license. So pricing won't be a major deciding factor. And although Epidemic Sound have a much larger library, I still find it to be somewhat limited. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Epidemic Sound is great, especially if you're doing things like B-roll videos or travel videos where you need a lot of expressive music with a lot of things going on for you to kind of cut to. But as soon as you start looking for less eccentric music for things like talking head videos, that's when I think Epidemic Sound is starting to struggle a bit. And this next thing here might sound a bit weird, but outside of the classic and electronic genres, I feel like a lot of the music on Epidemic Sound is more like imitations of that genre rather than real or genuine, if that makes any sense. Now, when it stopped raining, we're back at it, and there's one more thing that I want to talk to you about when it comes to the way Epidemic Sound handles licensing. So in order for you to use their music in your new projects that you upload on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, what have you, you need to have an active subscription going. So you can't really just sign up and download a bunch of music and then cancel your subscription. If you do, you will get copyright claims on those songs after you've terminated your subscription. So keep this in mind. Now let's talk about Artlist. Their library isn't as big as the one on Epidemic Sound, but then again, I feel like the quality of music, especially across a broader variety of genres, is a bit more professional and, well, better to some degree at Artlist. So I usually find myself using more of a variety of music, and it's also one of the reasons why I decided to go with Artlist for all my client work. I also find it easier to find matching songs within a mood or a genre for things like documentaries and short films where you need a lot of music and you want to keep that soundtrack more coherent. Unless you go with classic music on Epidemic Sound, it's gonna be more difficult to put together a bunch of songs on Epidemic Sound for a more longer format, cohesive soundtrack. Another thing, when you download a song from Artlist, you can use that song even if you cancel your subscription. So this is good if you like to create intros and bumpers for your channel or podcast, what have you. That license belongs to you, so you have the right to continue to use that song even if you cancel your subscription. And that's also one of the reasons why I decided to go with Artlist for client work. When it comes to usability, I think Artlist does a slightly better job at finding the music that I'm looking for. Even if they have very similar search functions and filters, Artlist seems to find the songs that I'm looking for a bit faster and easier. Another neat feature of Artlist is these little tiny waveform images right next to each song in your search results. Let's say you're looking for a smooth background track, and you can see here on these songs how the waveform tells us that this song might not be ideal, but this one here is not going to turn into a bombastic symphony 30 seconds in. Where were we? Yeah, Epidemic Sound, they have these things they call stems, where everything is kind of spliced up. So you have the drums, the bass and vocals and everything on separate tracks, so you can go ahead and remove or pick and choose what elements of the songs you want to use. And this is going to give you a lot of flexibility.
Busy growing up, know that I'm right here, but everything is messed up and it feels like no one cares.
So to make a long story short, Artlist might be the better option for you if you're working with a broader variety of content, longer formats like documentaries, short films, while Epidemic Sound might be the better option if you're working with smaller short format content. We need a lot of explosive and really sometimes quirky music. If you're doing a lot of client work, I would recommend Artlist because of the overall better quality throughout different genres, and the licensing is so much simpler on Artlist since every track is pre-licensed on all the major platforms. Well, I think that's pretty much it. If you have any further questions, please let me know because we're losing a lot of light here as always. So I want to thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, bye.